Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. As many of you know, I don't often make videos like this, but then again, not every week has been like this one.
Hey, what's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here today, and you are a genius for being here. Today we have an awesome video for you today. Brad Garlinghouse has a response to the craziness that has been going on in the markets and in the trial. Here we go. All right, guys, stop number one. We're over here on Twitter. We're going to find Brad Garlinghouse's video here in a second. But before we do that, make sure you run over here. If you want to surf the market with us here at Bull Runners Club, if you want to join the Bull Runners Club, the link is down in the description. Come follow me on Twitter at Real Win with Ryan. Now let's go find Brad Garlinghouse. All right, and here he is, Mr. CEO himself, trying something new. Some thoughts from me on the event, specifically the release of the Hinman documents this week. For me, this is all a personal bent to it and felt like I warranted a personal comment. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. As many of you know, I don't often make videos like this, but then again, not every week has been like this one. A few days ago, after 2 years, 7 court orders, and over $100 million in legal bills, the Hinman speech documents, including internal SEC emails and comments leading up to this now infamous 2018 speech, they've finally been unsealed. Hinman's speech created new factors to determine if a token becomes sufficiently decentralized to no longer be considered a security. At best, these documents show that senior officials at the SEC couldn't agree on the law and told Bill Hinman directly he would confuse the public even more about the rules for crypto. At worst, they show that Hinman deliberately ignored the law, and he tried to create new laws, something only Congress can do. And while he was a public servant, Hinman received millions of dollars of payments from his law firm, which was part of an alliance with others that had a vested interest in this speech. This speech isn't about any one token or any one blockchain. This is about showing the extent to which the SEC has relentlessly pursued enforcement actions against crypto players while professing fake open arms and calls to come in and register, all the while lying about their so-called guidance. As some of you may know, Ripple spent years proactively engaging with the SEC. I personally met with Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman with no lawyer present. Why would I need a lawyer if we were all coming together in good faith? We answered every question they had, and not once did they suggest to me that XRP was a security. We were fully transparent, not knowing they would then use this information against us. The SEC hit us with a surprise Wells notice saying they were considering suing us for breaking securities laws and still refused to provide specifics. To those that have recently been hit with their own Wells notices and lawsuits, this likely sounds all too familiar. When the lawsuit did drop against us, days before Christmas, a very Grinch-like touch, they made it personal. They sued Chris Larson and they sued myself, alleging we should have known all along that XRP was a security. You can now see plain as day, they couldn't even agree amongst themselves. And to me, it still seems like they can't. What we saw play out in our case is exactly what's still happening. The SEC is looking to kill crypto innovation in the United States, and its current chair, an unelected bureaucrat, I might add, is weaponizing the lack of regulatory clarity to exert jurisdiction over the entire crypto space. This is the definition of putting politics over people. It's the pursuit of power over sound policy. The SEC tried to bully us into acquiescing. Thankfully, we have had the resources to fight back. And now we can all see what they've fought so hard to hide. They knowingly created confusion about the rules, and they used that confusion to regulate through enforcement. That's bad faith, plain and simple. Ultimately, as our lawsuit comes to a close, for so many others, it's just starting. The fight for clarity has to continue. I just want to conclude by saying to my colleagues here at Ripple, to my family, my friends, everyone who has supported us over the past 2.5 years, and certainly to the whole of the XRP Army, a very heartfelt and a very genuine thank you for that support.
All right, XRP Army, take a listen to that. Calling it out, absolutely crazy, holding no shots back, basically calling what they're doing absolute a governmental scam, a governmental fraud against the people, with the SEC trying to take out crypto as a whole. Absolutely crazy. Thank you, Brad Garlinghouse, for sticking up for all of crypto and not just Ripple. And if you scroll down in the comments section, there was even more that he had on the follow-up to say here. What's most important is that it's truly the first time the SEC was forced to be transparent about their lack of internal coherence or faithful application of the law, acknowledging they may not have the jurisdiction to fill the regulatory gap over crypto at all. They have preached and demanded transparency from those they regulate, but fight tooth and nail when held to the same standards. And now Gensler point blank refuses to comment on specific projects besides BTC, but indirectly and incorrectly labels tokens as securities in lawsuits. And in the next breath says how clear the rules are while his agency tries to front run Congress. And that's a great point. If you guys remember, too, there are several congressmen who are fighting back against the SEC because Congress does have power and oversight over the SEC, but they've been little weaklings, letting Mr. Gary Gensler and the SEC run rampant against all crypto. I like the response here. The phrase regulatory gap used internally by the SEC own officers is an Achilles heel of the SEC enforcement. All right, now jumping over to the next really big item on the docket here in the news is, did you know that while the SEC is busy suing Binance, Coinbase, and of course Ripple, BlackRock, and the biggest banks in the US silently bought record amounts of Bitcoin? These banks are buying Bitcoin in Q1 2023, include BlackRock, Bank of America, Fidelity. What do they know? Here's a thread. We're going to go ahead and jump through this and take a look. So looking at the largest holders of MicroStrategy stock, we can see some big banks have been buying huge amounts of MicroStrategy. And if you're not aware, right now there is no Bitcoin ETF. However, also in the news, which we'll cover, BlackRock is going for an ETF, which is right here. So this actually came out a couple of days ago. And then right after that, BlackRock's ETF announcement. But for those of you guys that don't want to get into crypto and you prefer stocks only, and by the way, none of this information is financial advice, so do not buy or sell anything because we talk about it on this channel. But in fact, go ahead and click the link down in the description below and join our fine community so that way you can get more detailed information how to make money online. But yes, this is the same MicroStrategy as the largest institutional holder of Bitcoin, owning 140,000 BTC worth over $3 billion. Basically, if you buy MicroStrategy, you're buying crypto, you're buying Bitcoin, not crypto, you're buying Bitcoin through holding MicroStrategy. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's the loophole, the workaround currently right now. A lot of people who are scared to say that they, or scared to buy crypto, whether it's, well, just period. They're scared to buy crypto. They'll go buy MicroStrategy and they hold that as a proxy for Bitcoin. And as you can see here, BlackRock funds, Bank of America, Fidelity Management, all buying. These are the top 10 owners of MicroStrategy right now. Number 3 is BlackRock. Number 2, Vanguard. And we know that those two right there work hand in hand on a lot of stuff anyway. Bank of America, number 4, which is very interesting. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right here. Fidelity's number 9. So in the top 10. With the recent SEC lawsuits and Operation Choke Point 2.0, why are these banks buying stocks correlated with BTC price? Considering there's no ETF in the US, buying MicroStrategy is the easiest way for some US investors to get exposure to the price of Bitcoin. So let's dive a little deeper through the rabbit hole here. As we can see here, MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin versus the NASDAQ. You can see red is MicroStrategy, and then you can see orange is the Bitcoin price. And then you can see the NASDAQ. So obviously MicroStrategy, Bitcoin since February or September 14th, 2021. No idea where February came from there. But since September 14th, they have been outperforming the NASDAQ significantly. Now going on, Bank of America have curiously increased their exposure to MicroStrategy by 47,000%, almost 48,000 in 2023. Bank of America is the second largest U.S. bank with a market cap of $233 billion and over $3 trillion of AUM. Now let's look at the world's largest asset manager with over 10 trillion AUM, assets under management, in case you're wondering, it's quietly doing. Bank of America might have a 2.3 stake in MicroStrategy, but BlackRock has a stake of MicroStrategy 3 times larger. BlackRock, interestingly, holds 6% stake in MicroStrategy worth $156 million. You might be thinking, doesn't BlackRock only invest in ESG-friendly companies? Why are they buying Bitcoin-related companies? I know, shocking. We'll dive deeper down the BlackRock rabbit hole shortly. However, they've not only a billion dollar bank quietly accumulating MicroStrategy. And this is from Bitcoin Culture, by the way. You can follow him over at BTC_culture. He's got some good stuff here. Another giant firm with over $4.5 trillion in assets under management has also increased its exposure to MicroStrategies by 28,000%. Fidelity has a 1% stake in MicroStrategy. Interestingly, it's not only billion-dollar banks in the U.S. buying MicroStrategy, there are global appetite for Bitcoin exposure in 2023. We can also see that the 6th largest bank in Canada has purchased over $500,000 worth of MicroStrategy in 2023. And the important question we should be exploring here is, why are all these banks doing this in early 2023? The Bitcoin price is down. And also, interestingly, too, we did notice just recently Raoul Pal was on doing a talk on, he was on a podcast, and he stated that it is now known, which it's not known, there's no actual factual evidence yet, but they're saying that it's known that MI6 from the UK and the NSA are the ones who truly created Bitcoin, who are truly Satoshi Nakamoto, which would be an interesting thing to find out. Are they following the lead of $700 billion bank that recently predicted BTC to hit 100K by 2024? We explored the maths behind Standard Chartered's 2024 Bitcoin call in the below, so you can go check out that thread down here. We're going to go ahead and pass on that, though. Now, we'll explore those questions in more detail below. However, in the meantime, if you enjoyed this thread so far, we'd appreciate it if you'd retweet, follow, and do all of that. All right. So, too long didn't read. For those who want to read more about this topic, we explore these topics in more than our free 5-minute weekly newsletter. You can join that for them as well. So let's go ahead and like this and retweet it. That's great content there. And let's jump over here to BlackRock ETF. What is going on? Because this has now been announced. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here at Amy Lives Crypto, at Amy_Lives Crypto, talking about our wonderful BlackRock ETF.
So BlackRock is one of the world's largest asset management companies, and they just took a major step towards launching a Bitcoin ETF. They just filed an application with the SEC, and this is huge because it could provide access to crypto for investors through a product from one of Wall Street's biggest players. But it's not all smooth sailing just yet. The SEC has been hesitant to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF, and they're currently in a legal battle with Grayscale over a similar matter. However, if the SEC changes its tune, we could see a flood of these products hitting the market. This move by BlackRock comes at an interesting time for crypto, though. Crypto prices are down and regulatory scrutiny is definitely on the rise. And as I mentioned in my previous video, the SEC just sued Coinbase and Binance for allegedly being unregistered securities exchanges. Speaking of Coinbase, it's listed as the custodian for the proposed BlackRock ETF. This all makes sense because they already have an existing partnership with BlackRock's Aladdin platform, which is connected to Coinbase Prime for crypto trading and custody. We'll have to just wait and see how the SEC responds to BlackRock's filing. Crypto Twitter has been nonstop with comments saying that this all falls in line with Operation Choke Point 2.0, and many aren't even convinced that this will ever get approved. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think? If the Bitcoin ETF is approved, will this be a breakthrough for crypto? Or is this just another big player taking control of the average retail investor's money? I'll keep you updated. And
all right, so now the next question becomes, what in the world is Choke Point 2.0? So let's take a look here at Operation Choke Point 2.0.
We are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money. But also, this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well.
We tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
So let's take a deeper look into Choke Point 2.0 and the digital dollar.
President Biden and the media are excited that the dollar could go digital.
Central bank digital currencies.
The world is going to see a functioning CBDC very soon.
A CBDC, that's a national digital currency controlled by the feds.
When you use your wallet to pay for something, the Fed would take the digital cash out of your wallet and deposit it into the merchants.
I think it'd be a total disaster. Sometimes government does things that may appear to be benevolent, but really are kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. This is a wolf coming as a wolf.
For months, I tried to get Governor Ron DeSantis to do an interview. The government's plan for digital money got him to say yes. The media make it sound like it's a great thing.
Well, if you don't care about your privacy and you want government to have even more control over the economy, then maybe it is. But if you don't trust central authority, then you should see this immediately as something that is very problematic.
But a lot of people do trust central authority. I'll read from the president's executive order on responsible development of digital assets. This will protect consumers, investors, and the environment.
That last one's a tell, because I think they would impose certain criteria. You're filling up too much tank of gas. Wait a minute, climate change, you can't be doing that. You bought another firearm? No.
And if you do buy
So this is what they have planned for us, and that's why we want to keep bringing you this information. By the way, regardless of this information, you just need to continue making more money for your own freedom. So click the link down in the description. Make sure you join the Bull Runners Club today.
If your truck is being used in these protests, your corporate accounts will be frozen.
When the government did block their bank accounts, that stopped the protests. Control over an American digital dollar would give our government even more power.
They want to impose ideology through the economy.
DeSantis is so upset about this plan for a digital dollar, he just persuaded Florida's legislature to ban its use in his state. This will be a national issue. Why is it the business of a governor?
Look, this is part of our role. There's a back and forth between the federal government and the states, and so we're pushing back against things we don't think are good. What we did at the state level is protect Floridians against a unilateral action by either Treasury or the Federal Reserve. They do not have the authority to do that.
He said,
so good job for Florida, but is your state protecting you? Let me know down in the comment section, what state are you coming from? What state are you living in right now? Personally, I'm in California, so they are definitely not trying to protect us here. But let me know what state are you watching from today? What country are you watching from today?
Says what the Fed is doing may not even be legal.
The Federal Reserve has come out and said we would only do it after, quote, consulting with the legislative and executive branches. Ideally, we'd get specific congressional authorization. Wait a minute. It's not ideal that you get Congress. That's what the Constitution requires.
The advocates make a digital currency sound so good.
As trusted as cash, as convenient as a payment app, yet also benefit from the same blockchain technology which underpins cryptocurrencies.
Make cross-border payments easier, promote financial inclusion, and payment system stability.
When I started talking about some of the dangers from privacy and all that, the corporate press, all these outlets, they all of a sudden started converging that DeSantis is trying to promote conspiracy theories.
They basically hate you.
Part of that is true, but I think part of it is this is something that they care about. And the question is, why would these organizations care so much about a central bank digital currency? Is it really because they are really that invested in cross-border transactions? Of course not. It's because this is something that could help them advance their ideology of.
Now, this is also the devil's advocate of me coming out here with XRP, right? We're always super fired up talking about how XRP could make us lifetime, life-changing money. But what if XRP is the trap? Let me know down in the comment section how we can verify, because a lot of you guys have done a lot of research. Like I said, you guys are geniuses. Let me know down in the comments, how can we verify that XRP will not be our downfall?
Having more central authority and more supervisory power over the average American.
But if the Fed doesn't develop its own digital currency, America's going to fall behind. Wall Street Journal.
The U.S. financial system is still pretty old school when it comes to moving money around.
And that's not a great way to run a modern global economy.
Oh, please. They want to move to a cashless society, which would basically mean the Federal Reserve, Treasury Department would have supervisory jurisdiction over all of your transactions.
It's true that sometimes people use cash to buy illegal things, but cash has advantages.
Cash is independence. You have the cash in your wallet, you can go, you can make these transactions. It's not dependent on somebody else.
It's private.
It's private.
So is cryptocurrency. It lets people buy things without government money. Some in government don't like that.
Legitimate digital public money could help drive out bogus digital private money.
She clearly would be somebody that rejects any type of digital asset that's not controlled by a central authority. They don't like Bitcoin. They don't like some of these other things. And the reason is they don't control it. That's why they don't like it.
So let me know, is CBDC going to be a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Let me know down in the comments section. But like I said before, no matter what, you're going to need a ton of money so that you don't become a slave to the system like they're trying to set up for us. And the way to do that is to make money. And you can make money with us here at the Bull Runners Club. We've already built a business in a box for you. All you got to do is click the link in the description below to get started today. And here's more information.
Look closely right here, you'll see in the back office of one of my accounts, I made $500 today, $15,000 yesterday, over $474,000 in gross volume. The net volume from all of that was $446,000 in profit, 1,218 new customers, 1,032 successful payments, only 4 refunds. You're bound to have some refunds when you have an online business, less than 1% dispute activity, and the spend per customer averages $316, all from an email list of only 9,642 email leads. So if I pull out the calculator and I show you exactly how much profit that is per email, I would take the total net profit of $446,000 and divide that by 9,642 emails generated, which gives me an average of $46 per email generated online in profit.
So if you want to learn exactly how I'm earning an extra $40 to $50 per email I generate online from organic marketing and profiting an extra $200 to $3,000 per day with just one of my businesses with a simple 2-step sales funnel, then click the link that you see on this video. When you click that link right now, it's going to take you to a page that looks similar to this. And all you have to do is put in your best email address, and I will personally send you my entire 7-figure blueprint for free. I became a millionaire before 30 doing freelance digital marketing online, selling my own products along with other people's products without any paid advertising. And now I'm about to scale just one of my businesses to over 7 figures per month with paid advertisements just like this. And I'll be giving away 100% of all of the emails I generate from my YouTube channel that has nearly 300,000 subscribers, and over 100% of the emails I generate from new paid advertisements just like this. And on top of that, I will be paying you 25% of the net profits for all of my product sales. Now, my lead developer and I have built all the sales funnels for you. We've written all the follow-up emails for you. We're even doing weekly live webinars selling our products to email leads that we generate every single day and paying you 25% of the net profits in residual income when you take action right now and you click the link that you see on this video to get my entire 7-figure blueprint 100% free. Instantly, you're going to receive a personal message from me to you with my 7-figure blueprint showing you exactly what you need to do to master digital freelance marketing online. I look forward to helping you become my next massive success story this year. And with that being said, I will see you on the next video in less than 10 seconds when you click the link right now.